Schaefer, Byrne, Knapp, and Chair Metzger. Next item is consent agenda. Do I have a motion? Motion by Byrne, second by Knapp. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor of the consent agenda, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. And the chair has to vote, since there's only 4 of us. Moving on, do we have any members of the public or county employees?
Chair Shaver, we've had no requests this evening.
Okay, thank you. Moving on to departmental matters, Tim Wiley, Nursing Home Administrator, is up first.
Hello, everybody. Any questions that you have related to my report that I can answer?
Quick question. Do you have any outstanding invoices pending with the county auditor's office that you're aware of that are being held up and bills that aren't being paid on time because they're held up with the auditor's office?
I'm not aware of any at this exact moment.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? I noticed our census is kind of getting a little bit lower. Is this cyclical here on the summertime, or?
So actually, I just ran a 4-year trending for Medicare specifically, and this may ordinarily would be a spike in the Medicare census, and it's actually a little dip. But if you'll notice on the monthly average census on page 4, the lower census has been with Medicaid and VA residents, and our Medicare census has been very strong. In fact, already in the month of June, we were at 20 for several days. So like I said, it's been with Medicaid and VA, and we were also notified by the VA that some other facilities in the Bloomington-Normal area got VA contracts this year, so that's probably part of the reason.
And the Peterson nursing homes, or they're not here, but there's one in El Paso. Is that affecting us in getting any residents from any of those? Because I'm guessing they're going to close. I'm not sure.
Not at this time, because they're in receivership, and Tutera Senior Living is managing their facilities, their locations at this time.
Okay, thank you. Anything else you want to say, since we haven't spoken for 3 months?
Good to see you all. You don't look a day older.
Thank you. Moving on, next up is Jason Tabb, Juvenile Detention Superintendent. And you
I
have
believe
your
everybody
report.
has my report. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to try and answer.
Do you have any current pending invoices with the county auditor's office that are being held up as far as you're aware?
Not that I'm aware of.
Any other comments or questions? Anything you want to add for the last 3 months going on?
Business as usual.
Thank you. Next, we have Alana Strum, is that correct? But we have Miss Diane Hughes from
Yes.
the jail as jail superintendent.
Ms. Strum couldn't be here. It's her actual regular day off. She's been helping working the floor a lot, so that's why we don't have any of the items as well. She will have everything compiled for 2 months at the next meeting. If you have any questions, I will say our new psychiatric provider is working out very well, and we are up to 20 hours a week. So
Okay.
we're very happy with her.
Okay. Maybe, does anybody else have any questions? Go ahead, Mr. Byrne.
Same question. Are you aware of any outstanding invoices that are being held up by the auditor's office?
At this time, I'm not aware of any.
Thank you.
Could we, maybe next month, since we haven't met for quite a while, maybe if Jackie could come and maybe talk about some of the things that she's doing with the inmate services on the behavioral health side, on not the nursing part,
Right.
but the counseling kind of stuff.
Yes, absolutely. I'll request it.
Thank you. Anybody else? Okay. Next up is Jessica McKnight, Health Department Administrator, and she has one item for action. 4D1A is approval of emergency appropriation ordinance for Fund 112-6161. Do I have a motion? Motion by Knapp, second by Byrne.
So this is a budget amendment to complete a project that we started and intended to have done in 2023. So just moving the money in our 2024 budget to do some updating in an available space for our immunization program.
And this is where triage used to be. They're renovating that space to be part of that, correct?
Correct.
So is this an expansion of the immunization area, or is this a replacement then, would you say?
It would be an expansion in additional acquired space, but just relocating them across the hall.
Thank you.
Any other questions? All in favor of the emergency appropriation ordinance for 112-6161? Say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, that is approved. And you have your report. Any comments on that?
I do. So the highlight was environmental health, and they have been very busy with their temporary food events and also cottage foods. So happy to try to answer any questions, but a lot of good information in there from Tommy Anderson.
Member Knapp.
I have a question for everyone, kind of a general. Come across COVID cases and wonder if you can give me feedback on if you're seeing a spike since you're all essentially under that umbrella. Can you give me any comments on what you've seen?
Would you want me to start, I guess? I mean, nothing of significant note at the moment is what I would say. So COVID, unlike influenza, where we usually have a regular season, COVID hasn't quite adapted to that yet. So just throughout the year, we see cases popping up here and there. But as of right now, I don't believe there's any type of significant burden on our healthcare system due to any COVID cases. Good news, obviously, with COVID being probably a little bit milder now. So nothing really of note from our end in public health.
Other questions?
Thank you.
Same question. Any outstanding invoices or anything that are currently held up by the county auditor's office?
None that I'm aware of.
Thank you.
Member Knapp, did you have another question? Okay. Chair Metzger.
I was wondering how long your student intern is going to be available.
And student intern typically depends on how long they can stay with us. So they're usually here through the summer. Sometimes with their school schedules, they're able to stay through the whole West Nile virus season through October, but it depends. So we are hopeful that the current student intern can stay through October.
And I can't remember, I know you've mentioned this before, but why would a bird not be eligible for testing?
I mean, it could be it's been dead too long,
Okay.
or just the conditions that it has been in, or maybe what part of, do we have a whole bird and enough of a bird to send?
Okay. And lastly, you indicated that that the events, all of the cottage industry, these farmers markets and stuff that you have sent people out and checked all of these, apparently, from what you're indicating. Is that correct?
The temporary food?
Yes, mobile
yes.
permits,
Mhm.
yeah.
We
all
do
right.
have staff that go out to all the events.
That's a big deal,
It is, yes.
because they're all over the place. So thank you very much, because I know that's outside of normal work hours.
Anyone else? Could you give them an update on the mobile van? I know you gave it at the Board of Health meeting last month as to what activities have been done and where you've been. So if you could kind of give them a little update as to what we've been doing with that.
Sure, I can do my best in recalling where exactly we have been and when, and then what is on the schedule. But I'll let you know that on our website, we do have a calendar of where we will be. Typically, we are right now focusing on the rural communities. So we've been in Lexington and Leroy. And again, we're scheduled a couple sites in July, and then at least one site so far in August, again in the rural communities, and trying to been coinciding with the food mobile, so the food banks food mobile, where they're going to be, which is nice. Right now, we've been offering screenings, so free A1C screenings, blood pressure screenings, and heart health education, promoting our diabetes prevention program.
Thank you. And you have an item for information.
I do. So this is informing you all that we will be taking a resolution to Finance Committee to add a part-time seasonal employee to help out in the environmental health program. So as we noted in Tom's report and talked a little bit about, we have been very busy with temporary food, and especially during this season also with the West Nile virus activity. So adding a part-time seasonal employee to help us out with that.
Any questions on that? Okay, thank you. Next up is Cassie Taylor, County Administrator.
Thank you, Chair Schaefer. I have no items to present to this committee this month.
Thank you. Moving on to other business or communication, our next meeting is August 8th, which is a normal Thursday, holiday week. Everybody have a great holiday. Does anybody else have any other business or communication? Okay, hearing none, this meeting is adjourned. Thank you.